This is CBC Here and Now.
Well, there you have it. First snowfall warning of the season has been issued.
Of course, once one kid is done with this particular prop, he's being cleaned up. We have no choice, anybody. There is no other building around that can afford us the space to train.
This club in southern Labrador is feeling the pandemic pinch.
Health Canada has approved rapid COVID tests, but will they come to this province? Coming up on Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Anthony Germain.
And I'm Carolyn Stokes. We start tonight with an update for anyone working out west. Now, there are no new cases of COVID-19 to report in the province today, but the health department is warning rotational workers about an outbreak in Fort McMurray, Alberta. Anyone who has come home from Syncrude Canada's Aurora mine site now has to self-isolate for 14 days and get tested. Now, the outbreak started a month ago. CBC asked the province why it waited so long to send an advisory, but the response from government didn't answer that particular question. Well, staying with government, the province's health minister hopes rapid testing will soon be available. Health Canada has recently approved 2 rapid tests that confirm the presence of the virus that causes COVID-19. One test can give results in just 20 minutes. Here and Now's Mark Quinn reports.
The federal government is buying rapid COVID tests like these, and Health Minister John Haggie says Newfoundland and Labrador wants to get its hands on some of them.
These are best suited to rural, isolated clinics where transportation of specimens might be a challenge, and it would be used to identify positive cases.
Haggie says 14 days of isolation remains the best screening test, but he said rapid tests may be useful, especially after winter sets in.
It wouldn't rule out any of the isolation, but it would warn them if they did have somebody who came in. And because that has different consequences in an isolated community where the plane may not come back for 2 or 3 days in the middle of winter. We've seen flight advisories already for the North Coast. So it would go to there, or the Fogo Islands, or Harbour Breton, those kind of places.
The federal government is buying tens of millions of rapid COVID tests. Originally, the plan is to distribute them to the places that have the most cases, but Health Minister John Haggie says that plan may change.
I spoke to Minister Haidu personally on Friday and said, we want our share. And they said, well, it depends on your case numbers and outbreaks. And I said, well, that's not the standard you apply to the territories.
Haggie said he's also spoken with Labrador Indigenous and Aboriginal groups, and he suggested they also lobby federal government ministers to secure a supply of rapid COVID tests for this province. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
An outbreak in a Moncton nursing home has infected at least 19 people and may undermine the province's success at containing the virus thus far. The outbreak is centered here at Manoir Notre Dame. 13 residents have been infected, along with 4 workers and 2 family members. Yesterday, 2 infections were confirmed, 17 more today. It's the largest single-day infection in New Brunswick since the pandemic began. 2 people have been taken to hospital, both residents. Despite the spike in cases, Moncton will maintain its yellow alert level.
We do have to make sure that we contact all of the close contacts within 24 hours, so we're working on that. This is an outbreak in a high vulnerability setting where there is a risk of transmission to the community, so we're looking at that as well. So once we gather all that information and finish our risk assessment, then we'll make a decision about whether to go to orange.
Well, back in this province, Premier Andrew Furey now has a seat in the House of Assembly after his big win in the Humber-Gross Mourne by-election last night.
My friends, I want to thank you for your confidence, for your trust, and for making me the next member for Humber-Gross Mourne.
More than 35 people clapped and cheered as Furey arrived at his campaign headquarters with his family. He quickly greeted many supporters with elbow bumps instead of handshakes. Fury had nearly 3,500 votes, winning by a wide margin. He plans on running in this district in the next election. He has to call one before next August. For now, he says he's focused on representing the province.
Right now in Newfoundland and Labrador, we're facing some tough times. As former Premier Wells has said, there's no sense sugarcoating some of the tough decisions that lie ahead in terms of the fiscal capacity, some of the social elements that we're going to have to deal with. But I truly believe that we can emerge from this pandemic, from this economic crisis, a better, stronger, more caring and compassionate Newfoundland and Labrador. And that's what I'm looking forward to getting in and building on and leading us through this pandemic, not just through it, but to the other side of it.
Well, in federal politics now, Ottawa has spent more than $213,000 defending Newfoundland and Labrador MP Seamus O'Regan. A veterans advocate was suing the feds for defamation over what O'Regan wrote about him in a column for the Hill Times newspaper. O'Regan wrote the advocate was spreading, quote, mistruths about pension for life to suit their own agenda. O'Regan was Veteran Affairs Minister at the time of the writing. His spokesperson wouldn't comment on the case. The advocate, meanwhile, says it's astonishing how far Ottawa will go to avoid apologizing. But a statement from Ottawa says neither government nor the minister admits any liability or any wrongdoing.
Meanwhile, in Labrador, it looks like Johannes Lamp has been re-elected president of Nunatsiavut. Unofficial results released last night put him with the lion's share of the vote. The official tally is expected in the coming days. In the meantime, Lamp put out a statement thanking beneficiaries for supporting him. He writes, I'm optimistic about the future and the promises it holds for all of us. It will take careful planning and hard work to create the future we, as Labrador Inuit, need, want, and deserve.
Temperatures today pretty beautiful across the board. We're sitting in the teens, anywhere from 15 to 16 degrees for most of the island, even seeing those temperatures quite warm up through coastal areas of Labrador as well. 12 in Nain today, 7 in Churchill Falls, and we're looking at a temperature near 7 degrees for Lab City as well. Now, we do have some rain on the go for the west coast and spreading towards central. Plenty of cloud cover moved in as well, but the area of low pressure that's going to bring the majority of the rain, or at least more rain, will move in as we head through the overnight and into tomorrow. And if you note where that blue is, that's going to bring some colder air. And with that colder shot of air, we are looking at the potential for some accumulating snow, mainly for Labrador, but I'll have all those details coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. In other news, 2 St. John's men are going to prison for their roles in a murder plot. 21-year-old Brandon Glasgow has been sentenced to 5 years for conspiracy to commit murder. 36-year-old John Squires got 6 years plus an additional 2 years for weapons offenses. According to the judge, Glasgow agreed to lure Bradley Summers to a place where he could be ambushed, shot, and killed. Court documents describe Squires as the trigger man, waiting with a loaded gun, ready to shoot. It's not clear why the pair wanted to kill Summers, who is allegedly a member of the Hells Angels. Squires' motivation appeared to be money. A third accomplice, Dustin Etheridge, pleaded guilty to the charge of conspiracy to commit murder earlier this year. The police are warning kids in Botwood about a man lurking around the skate park there. They say he has dark hair, possibly is in his 30s, and he was spotted speaking inappropriately to a group of children on Saturday. And then on Monday, police say the man was back taking pictures of kids until some teenagers confronted him and he left. According to police, he was driving a white Hyundai SUV, possibly with a tinted license plate. The RCMP is asking anyone who sees a matching vehicle near the skate park to call them. Fire at an empty house on the west coast spread fast earlier today. People evacuated from their homes, and luckily now everything is under control. This is what it looked like in Heatherton, about 50 minutes outside Stephenville. Fire burned one house to the ground and then spread to an empty store and damaged 3 other nearby homes. Crews have reopened the road and power is being restored. Police are investigating the cause of that fire. Now in St. John's and the area, Metrobus workers won't be going on strike. Drivers and maintenance staff voted last night and they accepted the city's deal, so that means no disruption in service. Details of the deal have not been made public. Talks stalled weeks ago over benefits. The union representing about 100 Metrobus workers was asking for full severance packages, more sick leave, and more money for people who work nights.
Well, striking Dominion workers took on extra duties today. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, they wanted to do something not just for their community, but for some of their fellow union members. Here and now, Cease Hare reports.
In the spirit of giving, a food drive is underway at 11 Dominion stores across the province, despite the ongoing strike. Rather than dropping donations off in store, people are passing donations off to strikers who are accepting drop-offs throughout the day.
There's a lot of people in this province that need our help.
Outside the store in Conception Bay South, along with the food, a check presentation for $3,000 from Unifor for the Salvation Army for people in need who rely on food banks to feed their families.
I have a lot of single parents that are my members that also go to food banks because they're not making enough. We're in the place of employment, which is Dominion stores right now, that they can't feed their children and feed their families, so they rely on food banks also.
The strike started August 22nd and affects 1,400 workers who've been without a contract since this time last year. What's it like now financially for you?
It's so-so. It's okay, but could be better.
Green wasn't scheduled for picket line duty, but showed up to support her colleagues, many of whom, like her, are starting to feel the strain of almost 2 months with no income. Her husband works, but they have a daughter in junior high and another in nursing school.
It's been hard. It's good and bad. Like, we're all keeping our morale up. We're all, having fun, trying our best, but it gets hard sometimes. Like, living the paycheck anyway before this, and then now we got to watch every cent we make and how we spend it.
Green says while morale on the picket line is holding up, it plummeted when the company clawed back a $2 an hour pay raise it gave them in the early days of the pandemic. Cease Hare, CBC News, Long Pond.
Well, Dawson Mercer is going to the New Jersey Devils. It's the second year in a row that a hockey player from this province has gone in the very first round of the NHL entry draft. Mercer was picked 18th overall. Now, in any other year, there would have been an arena filled with thousands of cheering people. But this time around, the draft was distanced.
Jersey Devils are proud to select from Chicoutimi center Dawson Mercer.
Dawson's talent shone through at a very young age. This has been going on since, I would say, Adam. We've just watched him blossom into, an awesome hockey player and an unbelievable person.
Back to Dawson Mercer.
Dawson is a 200-foot player. I'm sure you've heard that all over the place. Dawson is as good offensively as he is defensively. He's got possibly the strongest stick that I've ever seen. I've been coaching 30-plus years.
So exciting and so much joy and happiness with it, and that was a big thing for me. I wanted to spend it with my family.
We took in the draft here at my house. It was a bittersweet thing for all of us. There was 50 of us that were supposed to be going to the Bell Center, all in one section. Dawson's agency had tickets for us all. It was going to be quite a time, but it was an unreal experience for us. We were plugged in through FaceTime with them in the booth, and so they were looking at us and we were looking at them. Now they had us muted because, of course, we're a bunch of rowdy Newfoundlanders, and they didn't need to hear what was being said up there. But so we partied with them virtually, and which is kind of the new normal now. We're so happy for him, and we're so happy for us in general in the whole area. And Dawson he's so popular, whether it's with 3-year-old kids or with 40 and 50-year-old ladies and gentlemen. Like he's just that guy. He has no aura about him. He's just the nicest person you'll ever meet. This is Dawson's dream, and hey, let the ride begin.
Nice. Well, sticking with sports, a popular judo club in southern Labrador is facing a big squeeze. The club lost its old home at Labrador Straits Academy because of COVID-19, and its instructor says no replacement can measure up. Here and Now's Garrett Berry is in southern Labrador this week and has this story.
The project that I have right now is is something that I called air judo.
It's gonna look awfully different. Gone are the days of sparring. In the COVID-19 era, judo is a contact sport without the contact.
A lot of movements in the air, like pretending, it's like shadow boxing kind of idea, if you will.
But for this judo club, the blows keep on coming. They've also been locked out of their old home.
We have no choice but to understand what is happening right now. Like the school board had to make a decision, and they can't make an exception for, let's say, a club like ours, just because.
The problem is, on the south coast of Labrador, there are not many other options.
Judo is a throwing sport. You need space, and there, like I said earlier, the arena is probably the only other big building on this, but it's not open all year long either.
So they've settled in here, a medium-sized sports room on the back of the Pinware Town Hall.
Respecting social distancing, unfortunately, we have to. And this affords me just enough space for 6 kids. I can't do any more than that.
Just a fraction of the 30 kids that signed up last year.
This is nasty. Like, I miss my judo kids, and I know that a lot of them are missing their judo. We get constant calls from the parents saying, is judo coming back on?
In the school of 129, judo was a hit. And Nolo knows how big of a difference it can make. That's what makes this squeeze so heartbreaking.
His confidence changed completely on that day because he realized that he could do something that he didn't think he could do before. And he's one of our higher graded belts today, and he's one of the reasons why we want to push this program further. I don't want to abandon them, you know.
Nolo says he understands why he can't get an exemption to get back into the school building, but he also says this story does show the costs of COVID-19 measures in rural parts of this province, and just how much is lost in these small communities when a big public building has to close its doors. Garrett Berry, CBC News, Waterloo.
Well, an update for you now about a scandalous story that Here Now brought you on Monday that might have brought tears to your eyes. It was about a St. John's seed company whose ads were just far too sexy for Facebook. Gaze Seed wasn't allowed to advertise its Walla Walla onions on social media because Facebook deemed them, quote, overtly sexual, as you can see there. Manager Jackson McLean says his company pays for advertising, but when the onions were mistaken for something else, all he could do was laugh. Well, an update for you tonight from Facebook Canada. A spokesperson tells CBC, quote, we use automated technology to keep nudity off our apps, but sometimes it doesn't know a Walla Walla onion from a, well, you know. Well, Facebook restored the ad and says it is sorry for any trouble caused to Gaze Seed.
A well-known weather watcher in St. John's had his weather machine stolen last month, but thanks to the kindness of strangers, he's got a new one. I'm Jeremy Eaton. I'll have that story coming up on Here and Now.
It's a good thing he has that new weather station because we've got a lot of rain on the way over the next 24 to 36 hours. I'll have all those details coming up.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism. Take the time to explore this fall. Learn more at stayhomeyear.ca.
Ashley's here now with a look at the weather forecast, and it certainly wasn't as chilly this morning when I opened the door as it was yesterday morning.
That's right. It was much warmer. Beautiful sunshine, though, here in St. John's. We did have a gorgeous morning. Let's take a look at those temperatures where we sat when we walked out of the house. 8 degrees in St. John's, and if you head towards head towards the west coast, it was just a little bit warmer. Stephenville reaching about 12 degrees this morning. And today, though, temperature is pretty beautiful, sitting in the 15 to 17 degree range for most of us across the island. And again, mild up through portions of Labrador as well, 12 degrees in Nain, but temperatures have dropped just a little bit and will continue to do so as we head through the night tonight. So what's going on is we have some rain moving in right now, which will be heavy at times as we head through the next couple of hours. And then we're looking at the second area of low pressure, or at least the main area of low pressure, that's going to move in, and that's going to bring some heavy rain to us as we head through the overnight tonight. So here's a look at the future tracker. Winds will ease a little bit in the west, but they'll pick up in the east, even more so than what we're seeing this afternoon, with these periods of rain continuing, which again, like I said, will be heavy at times as we head into the early morning hours. And then we start to see the snow creep in, and that'll be towards the early morning hours, it looks like, for portions of northern Labrador as well as Lab West. So here's where our temperatures will be sitting, around 10 to 11 degrees, so a fairly mild night. Again, those winds will ease in the west, but we're looking at southeasterlies anywhere from 50 to 70 kilometers per hour as you head further east. And then up through Labrador, temperatures will drop. So at Lab City down to 0 degrees. So the showers, it'll start as showers and then change over to periods of snow tonight, with winds generally out of the north 15 to 20 kilometers per hour, staying cloudy for Nain. You'll see those flurries move in as you head towards the morning hours. Otherwise, I'm going to see that potential for showers or periods of rain for most of southeastern portions of Labrador. So that rain still have that special weather statement in effect for mainly the southern half of the Avalon. And it will continue as we head through most of the day tomorrow, where we'll see that heavy rain through the day. And then that cold air starts to wrap around, which I've been talking about for the last couple of days. And that's when things will change over to snow for the most part for Lab West and up through northern portions of Labrador as well. Now, the winds are going to ramp up again as this area of low pressure continues to track a little bit further north. In behind that, certainly for western areas of the island as well as the east, could see gusts upwards of about 80 kilometers per hour with this as well. Here's where we'll be sitting rainfall-wise. A good 30 to 50 millimeters is a good bet for most of the west coast as well as along southern portions of the island. And then even in the metro area, could see anywhere from 20 to as much as 40 millimeters of rain with this. And then some rain up through portions of Labrador as well, mainly the Strait, where you'll see about 20 to 40 millimeters of rain. Here's the temperatures, not too bad. Another mild day, relatively speaking, 14 to 15 degrees, and winds, again, picking up into the evening hours. They'll shift through the day as well to southwesterlies. And then up through Labrador is when we're going to see that big drop in temperature. So only hovering around the 0 degree mark for Lab City, and up through Nain around 2 degrees. Otherwise, you'll be sitting in those single digits again through the day with those showers continuing. It's into Friday that we'll start to see that snow creep a little bit further east. And it's as that low pressure draws that cooler air in, mainly for parts of Labrador, and even into the southeast, though you'll see that change over to snow into the early morning hours. And then along the Long Range Mountains is where we'll see the majority of the potential to see some snow. Otherwise, in some of the heavier rain is where we could see a few flakes. It'll probably be graupel at this point, but there still certainly is that potential, and it will stay breezy as well. And that will be the story as we head into Saturday as well. So we do have that special weather statement in effect. We're looking at that snow through Thursday and Friday, and then Churchill Falls is where we've got that snowfall warning. And accumulations looking like they'll be generally 5 to 10 centimeters. And again, because those temperatures are hovering near or just above 0, so it'll bring those snowfall amounts down. But it looks like in the Churchill Valley, Churchill Falls area, is where we could see anywhere from 20 to as much as 25 centimeters of snow. So into Friday, we're looking at temperatures dipping again into those single digits, which is why we'll see the potential for some showers and or flurries. And then Saturday, things will rebound quite nicely. So we're looking at temperatures anywhere from 9 to 10 degrees, so back into those double digits. At this point, we're looking at some sunshine for St. John's, but that flurry activity will continue for most of Labrador. Temperatures we'll see a little bit of a roller coaster, so we'll go back up to about 15 degrees by Sunday and then drop into those single digits again on Monday. With central Newfoundland, you're looking at a similar roller coaster ride into Sunday, but overnight lows are going to be dipping into those hovering around the 0 degree mark. And then for western Newfoundland, similar into the single digits as we head into the overnight. Up through Labrador, staying in those single digits for the most part. And for Lab West, by the time you get into these flurries, Sunday looks okay with a chance of flurries. And then Monday, we're looking at some more sunshine. So another weather watcher is thanking some strangers for helping get his passion back online. Kelly Butt's weather station was ripped out of his backyard last month, and then not long after, support from social media came pouring in. So here now's Jeremy Eaton has an update for you.
So it measures temperature, rainfall rate, humidity. Kelly Butt is a well-known weather watcher, keeping an eye on the ever-changing climate in this province. But last month, someone hopped into his backyard and literally ripped his weather station out of the ground.
It was pretty gutting when I saw that it was gone. I was pretty upset, I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty upsetting to see that it was gone, pretty disheartening, that sort of thing, right?
Thanks to the generosity of strangers and a fair bit of media attention, Butt's story was widely shared.
Got a lot more attention than I ever could have imagined.
It's just so discouraging.
It certainly caught Jennifer Way's attention. She started a fundraising campaign and the funds came pouring in. $2,500 was raised and he quickly added new high-tech weather gear.
It restores my faith in humanity. You know, it's heartwarming. It was awesome to see. I mean, a huge thank you goes out to Jennifer who started the campaign. Along with a number of people, some of the folks I know, some of them I don't, who donated to that cause.
Along with the gear, Butt has added a flurry of surveillance.
Bolted on, also bought some cameras, some security cameras placed around the yard here. They'll detect any motion, they have alarms, sensor lights, that sort of thing on it. So anybody comes in here, I'm gonna know.
With the station secure, Butt can get back to doing what he loves, keeping track of the weather.
It makes me a lot happier, of course. It allows me to give up-to-date current information like where I am, as opposed to using information from the airport or various other locations, which we always know weather can be very different in just a few kilometers apart here in Newfoundland.
With the new safety measures in place, unlike the last one, this weather station isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Jeremy Eaton, CBC News, St. John's.
A controversial project to fill in part of a harbor in CBS has some people calling for an environmental assessment. The CBC's Adam Walsh is here to explain. That's coming up. Welcome back to Here and Now. A controversial project proposal in Conception Bay South has some people calling for an environmental assessment. Ocean Choice International wants to fill in 4 acres of Long Pond Harbor to build a cold storage facility and a wharf. The project would destroy the harbor's eelgrass, a precious habitat for underwater wildlife.
Eelgrass is fundamental to the ecosystem services. It provides carbon, oxygen, food supply for fish.
Now that's a video from the Department of Fisheries and Oceans describing the ecological importance of eelgrass. OCI says it plans to compensate for the loss of the eelgrass in Long Pond Harbor by building another fish habitat. That environmental accommodation has the former owner of a local marina crying foul. Back in 2012, what was then known as Adventure Bay Marina paid a hefty fine for damaging eelgrass in Long Pond Harbor, the same area where OCI hopes to build. Now, the CBC's Adam Walsh has been following this story. So, Adam, what happened with the marina in 2012?
Well, back then, Hurricane Leslie came in as a post-tropical storm. So clay, soil, silt, it all washed up along what was then the Adventure Bay Marina in Long Pond. The owners at the time, Regina O'Keefe and her husband, they got an excavator to come in and they cleaned out an area about as big as a car. They both thought it was okay, but a few weeks later, the Environment Department came in and things changed. Here she is explaining things.
In came the Environment Department and said that we had disturbed eelgrass and we weren't permitted to do it. And they took us to court, and it was a slam dunk before we even went through the door. The amount of people from the Environment Department, there must have been 15 of them, with cameras and briefcases and films and divers and everything. Anyway, within a half hour, we were fined $45,000. And a little marina this size, at least that's the size it was then, probably only took in $50,000 a year. We were given 24 hours to pay it. So we had to scramble to try to get that and pay the $45,000 fine. Now, I don't think it's fair that you would take a small business person trying to provide a service to the community and fine them because they had done what they had to do to maintain the integrity of their property. And I'm sure the OCI will not have to pay any fines. I'm sure the eelgrass, acres of it, will disappear. And I just think what's good for one person should be good for the other.
I met up with O'Keefe at what is now the Sunset Key Marina in CBS. It has a different owner. But like others I've spoken with in the community, she too thinks there should have been an environmental assessment.
Okay, so an environmental assessment would have examined the full impact of the project on the area. So is there any possibility that an environmental assessment will be done?
It's not looking likely. The government has been clear the project does not meet its bar to need one. Now, as we heard from OCI's Blaine Sullivan, the company has followed every regulatory requirement asked of them for the past 2.5 years.
But based upon a lot of concerns locally, we have hired a firm to do a greater study of the harbour and to deal with how it affects flooding, tides, sedimentation, and wave actions around the port. And that's an additional piece that would be beyond most environmental assessments, as you know.
I spoke with Munn physics professor and longtime environmental advocate Len Zedell about all of this. He said there's been a lot of concern about the fish, the eelgrass, but there's something else in the environment, the people. How do human beings fit into this? Here's some of what he said.
This is a development that is literally in the middle of a community. People are going to live with the benefits of the jobs and activity, but they'll also be living with the consequences of changes to their harbor area, changes to the environment in that harbor, and it's a kind of a value decision. Do we think the benefits outweigh the disadvantages? This is not really pristine environment. It's an industrial area. It's a harbor. I believe that the environmental assessments go a long way to protecting both the company, the proponent, and the community. That's what it's there for.
So he thinks an environmental assessment is good for both sides. Will any of what he talked about there be considered if there is no assessment?
Interesting question. Earlier this week, the town of CBS revised its requirements for a land use assessment report. This first draft was in July. There's been a lot of feedback on the project since then. The first draft, for example, it had 5 report requirements: risk analysis, details on flood risks. The updated version, 20 requirements, including looking at the effects the project would have, positive or negative, on the area. The view, obstruction, noise. So it's not the environmental assessment people want, but it's more of what Len Zedell was talking about.
All right, great. Thanks so much for the update, Adam.
Thanks.
The plastic bag ban in this province came into effect last week, but just today, Ottawa announced its own single-use plastic bag ban. The federal government is moving ahead with its plan to ban some single-use plastics. Today, it identified which products it's going to outlaw. The CBC's Salima Shivji looks at the details and the possible problems the ban could create.
In this new pandemic reality of ordering more takeout and having more plastic bags full of groceries, the Liberal government is moving forward to tackle some of that plastic pollution.
Plastic checkout bags, straws.
Today, confirming the 6 single-use plastics it plans to ban outright. The list is specific, hard-to-recycle items with known alternatives: plastic bags, straws, stir sticks, cutlery, 6-pack rings, and some takeout containers. The Environment Minister aware that this may be a bit tricky these days.
I know it is presently hard to come back from the grocery store without a single-use plastic item.
And he admits the ban is a small part of what the Liberals want to do.
If you total up the number of plastic products that we use in our lives, the ban is probably a fraction of 1% of the products. What we're talking about by and large is about enhancing the rate at which we're recycling.
Canada's recycling rate is a dismal 9%, which is why environmentalists would like to see the ban go further, especially considering how many more harmful plastics we're using because of COVID-19.
The estimates I see are that single-use plastic use has increased about 250 to 300% since the pandemic began, but it is really hard to get a fulsome understanding.
But the ban will have an effect on small businesses in already tough times. Plastic alternatives are more expensive. And on Alberta, already struggling and hoping to produce and recycle more plastic, not less.
Ottawa, when they're moving forward, particularly as we come out of the economic downturn after COVID, they have to approach everything as in do no harm. Don't damage us any further. Don't harm any further jobs in Alberta.
There will be time to adjust. The government needs to amend regulations, so the plastics ban won't come into effect until sometime before the end of next year. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Ottawa.
Well, the first and only vice presidential debate in the U.S. election campaign is tonight. Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Mike Pence are squaring off at the University of Utah.
You see these two people that have really great experience going after the issues. This is why this is going to be the most watched vice presidential debate in history.
Tonight's vice presidential debate is arguably the most important in history as well, because both presidential candidates are in their 70s. Plexiglass barriers have been set up to separate Harris and Pence, and they'll be seated 12 feet apart because of the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak at the White House. This morning, both tested negative for the virus. They face off at 10:30 p.m. Newfoundland time. The term COVID fatigue isn't only for a public grown weary of pandemic restrictions and regulations. In parts of India and Spain, medical professionals say they are exhausted by challenging working conditions and, in some cases, a lack of wages altogether. Doctors staged a demonstration in the capital of India calling on authorities to release their paychecks. Nurses say they've been on the job for 4 months without wages. India is expected to soon surpass the United States with the world's largest number of COVID-19 infections. And in Spain, lineups for care are lengthening on the first day of a nursing strike in the capital in the midst of a surge of cases. Residents say they can no longer reach anyone for consultation by phone. The union says public health workers are now chronically short-staffed and lack adequate protective gear.
just ahead, Abra Whitney soothes the soul with a solo performance of La Vie en Rose. Welcome back. Well, venues like the St. John's Arts and Culture Centre are quiet because of COVID-19 and all the restrictions. A very tough time for musical performers and music fans. And in the absence of large gatherings, Here and Now offers you a solo performance this evening. Let Abra Whitney soothe your soul while she sings in French but tells you her story in English.
Okay, rolling, quiet, anytime.
I grew up in downtown St. John's, which is really an exciting place to be because you kind of got to see all different kinds of people and different ways of life. I sang in choirs and I took voice lessons and did all the kind of things you would do as a child to kind of get into the music scene, and it was really lovely and really fun and really diverse. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il parlerait tout bas. Je vois la vie en rose. My dad was born in Vancouver and moved to Montreal when he was, I think, 12. My mother is from Montreal, so they met there, and then my dad is a veterinarian, and so he got a job here out of university, and so they moved here, and that's where they started. So I was born here, but they are not from here, and my sister was also born in Quebec as well, so I'm the only Newfoundlander.
C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat. Des nuits d'amour en plus finir, un grand bonheur qui prend sa place, des ennuis, des chagrins.
I like to sing in French because it is a part of my heritage that I don't get to express too much in St. John's. My mom is also part Irish, so that side really comes out a lot in St. John's and in Newfoundland, but it's almost like this secret that I have inside me. When we're home, we always listen to Edith Piaf and all kinds of different French music from around the world. So that was really how I got to kind of know who I was, because I didn't get to spend my childhood, or I went on vacations to Montreal, but I didn't get to spend significant time there. So this was my way of connecting.
Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est moi pour toi, toi pour moi dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat. Mon cœur qui bat.
Wow, what a mesmerizing voice. That was Abra Whitney with Evan Smith on the piano. And if you liked what you just saw, that musical group is releasing videos every Monday to make up for the lack of performances because of COVID-19. And Abra Whitney stars in one that's coming out on the 19th. Just check out Opera on the Avalon's Facebook page for more information. Well, staying with song, a 43-year-old hit song is back on the charts. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac is riding a second wave of popularity because of a 20-second video that's gone viral on social media. Eli Glasner has that story.
This is how it started: a skate in the sun, some tunes, and some juice. Nathan Apodaca, aka Dogface208, didn't know it, but he'd created a viral sensation. Soon this Mexican indigenous Idaho factory worker was inspiring an army of imitators. Whether you're a hunter in the north, a political party leader, just about anyone can enjoy the vibe. And as the vibe and views grew, Fleetwood Mac's 1977 song Dreams jumped back on the music charts. Last week, Dreams hit a new record, over 8 million streams in 1 week, leading Mick Fleetwood himself to join TikTok with a post that reads, "Dreams and Cranberry just hits different." This Canadian film director couldn't resist making his own version.
3, 2, 1, action.
Millions follow him for red carpet footage, but what he loves about TikTok is how it blasts barriers.
nobody cares how old anybody is or like what their background is, what they look like, what they're into. If you make a fun, captivating video, people are gonna love it and people are gonna share it.
People like Toronto TikToker Lauren Moore.
You didn't know that song when you first heard it.
I heard it, I was like, this isn't a vibe.
She's part of a generation getting their music from TikTok.
I find all my music through social media apps, what's playing in the background of videos, what's getting popular. That's how I find music. So the older songs, I only know them because of social media.
Organic way of...
It's a power the music industry is paying attention to.
Fleetwood Mac hits just as hard if you're 16 today as if you were 16 in the 70s. And there's a universality to that experience that really binds people, and I think people are really responding to, especially at a time where we're all atomized, all in our own filter bubbles.
Connecting generations with a classic tune and mood. Eli Glassner, CBC News, Toronto.
On your street, ooh, 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 on your street. Hi, I'm Noah Witten, doing a report for CBC at Cape Fair. I've been picking blueberries all week, and when I come up here, I like to look into the woods for moose and into the ocean for whales. And while I'm here, I gotta check out that lighthouse. Every time I do it, every time I'm here, I do it. Speaking of lighthouses, what did the ocean say to the lighthouse? Nothing. It just waved. Get it? Waved. This is Noah Witten signing off for CBC. Bye. On your street.
Bye.
Oh, that was so cute. Nothing. It just waved.
Really like the sunglasses too. It kind of completes the outfit. That was fantastic.
It really was.
You got to come here and do this for a night. That was wonderful. And of course, the best part of blueberry picking is the eating. So thank you, Noah, for that wonderful report. Fantastic job.
Yeah, not a bad joke either, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was excellent. And, you know, if you have a young reporter on your hands at home, we want to hear from you. Just visit cbc.ca/NL and visit the community page. Definitely want more videos like that.
Definitely.
So, Ashley, you have a weather recap for us, but first, you visited with a classroom today.
I did, but my school visits look a little bit different than they used to. Let's take a look at that. This was Mr. Potter and Miss Lambert's class, grade 5 students, and yeah, we talked a lot about the weather today, and they had lots and lots of questions, which was really lovely. Mainly, how do I know how much snow is going to fall? That's a great question. And a lot of times, like I said, we're using our weather models, but we are going to see some snowfall certainly up through portions of Labrador tomorrow, and plenty of rain across the island as well. Upwards of about 50 millimeters is what's on tap. Didn't get to show you this, the beautiful weather photo of the day. This one here was sent by Robert Downey. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And if you have any weather photos to share with us, send to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Thanks for the picture, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.